Why did the United States destroy Yemen's most important fuel port, knowing that thousands of civilians depend on it for survival? In the dead of night, US-branded precision missiles erased Ras Isa, the energetic heart of the Houthis, from the map. But was it a strategic strike or a hidden punishment that could ignite the entire Gulf of Aden? No one knows. Yet the devastation on the ground has many asking, did the US this time went too far? The images say it all. Fuel depots obliterated, structures reduced to fiery craters, and a dark plume spreading toward the Red Sea, signaling a potential oil spill. The first operation took place on March 16th. Yemen's skies were on the brink of another inferno. Just hours after a devastating Houthi strike the previous day, the US responded, not with a warning, but with raw power. From the decks of the USS Stout and Jason Dunham, two US Navy destroyers, volleys of Tomahawk missiles were launched simultaneously. Their primary target, a coastal base used by the Houthis to deploy uncrewed vessels and swarms of maritime and aerial drones. That installation was critical. Without it, the Houthis lost not only their offensive capabilities, but control of the sea. Once that objective was achieved, the next phase began on April 17th. From the USS Harry Truman, FA-18 Super Hornets took to the sky, with a new mission and confidence that Houthi defenses were collapsing thanks to prior strikes. Their target? Ras Isa's oil port, Yemen's most vital energy hub in the northwest, and the Houthis' main fuel revenue source. To civilian eyes, it seemed a benign logistics center, but satellite intelligence, intercepted communications, and reconnaissance flights told a different story. Attacks launching, explosives stockpiling, war operations being funded, a vital node. So at 4:15 a.m., the aircraft unleashed another wave of AGM-154 missiles. With a reach of over 130 kilometers, they didn't even need to enter hostile airspace, flying above 15,000 meters, well out of reach of Houthi portable anti-aircraft weapons. Houthi air defenses had been decimated. All that remained were Soviet-era Igla missiles and ZSU anti-aircraft guns mounted on trucks, mere fireworks from that altitude. The strike was surgical. Minutes later, flames engulfed Houthi fuel reserves. One of their last logistical strongholds vanished. The message was brutal in its simplicity. Cut off their fuel, choke their finances, and stop their future attacks. A tactical victory, but at an uncertain cost. Less than 24 hours later, at dawn, F-35Cs from the Black Knight Squadron roared to life aboard the USS Harry Truman. In tight formation, they flew inland toward Yemen, targeting two concealed weapons depots in Marib Governorate. Silent Houthi defenses didn't react. No radar lit up, no missiles fired. In an instant, the F-35s released laser-guided munitions with surgical precision. The explosions obliterated both stockpiles and revealed a troubling fact. The Houthis were not just struck. They appeared utterly defenseless, or so it seemed. But as the Truman crew began their lunch, an alarm surged across USS Ginsburg's command center. Radar operators looked up, an aerial surge, far more than usual. This time, the Houthis weren't holding back. If before they launched a couple of missiles, now they'd unleashed everything they had. Concentrated on a single target, the Ginsburg, a desperate bet. Overwhelm a single frigate's defenses, and maybe, just maybe, they'd break through. But they didn't count on the calm mind at the controls. USS Ginsburg's tactical action officer scanned the radar. The spy system tracked up to 200 threats simultaneously, but could only engage 12 to 18. With over a dozen missiles incoming, the risk wasn't just that one would slip through, but that slower drones, hidden in the chaos, might hit after the initial volley. They faced a complex calculation and a captain with steady nerves. Against standard protocol, he chose precision over volume. One missile per target, no more, he ordered. One by one, red blips vanished from the radar. Enemy missiles neutralized before striking the sea. Only 2 threats remained. Then he broke protocol again. Instead of engaging at 80 kilometers, where they'd have room for another salvo, he waited. 40 kilometers, then 25. Then, at 12 kilometers, almost minimum safe distance, he commanded, RIM 162, fire. The RIM 162 missile weighs 281 kilograms, with 39 kilograms of high explosive warhead. Powered by an Mk-134 rocket motor, it can reach speeds of 4,900 kilometers per hour, one of the fastest naval interceptors. Its trade-off, autonomy. With only 8.5 seconds of propulsion, it's a last-ditch point defense weapon. 2 fired at the launch threshold of 43 kilometers. The crew held their breath. Seconds later, the radar cleared. It worked. Now, it was time to strike back. After the attack on the Ginsburg, U.S. command reached a startling conclusion. The Houthis still operated with organized structure. Their leadership hadn't collapsed. It was time for a surgical weapon built for mobile, elusive targets. Because the Houthis now worked from mobile command units. At just 113 kilograms, it seems small, but its technology makes it lethal. A tri-mode seeker, infrared millimeter wave radar, and semi-active laser lets it hunt like a bloodhound. It can adapt in mid-flight based on weather or battlefield interference. The result? Houthi mobile command posts destroyed with no chance to respond. But the Houthis didn't stay quiet. That afternoon, after more Navy strikes, one delivered by a P-8 Poseidon against enemy training camps, they retaliated. Not with missiles or jets, but with a swarm of drones. To preserve escort missile stocks, the strike group commander ordered every F-18 airborne in emergency takeoff. Under their wings, AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles gleamed. Each Super Hornet can carry up to 10 air-to-air missiles. Though designed for fighter jets, AMRAAMs have proven themselves against cruise missiles, spy balloons, and UAVs. With IRST Block 2 sensors, long-range passive infrared, they tracked even tiny drones like mosquitoes. For 7 hours, the U.S. aircraft repelled wave after wave with surgical precision. Exact numbers remain classified, but sources estimate dozens of drones destroyed. Night fell, the threat ended, but the question lingered. How could a resource-limited militia orchestrate such an aerial offensive? Clearly, someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. In the coming days, the U.S. plans a campaign aimed at crushing the Houthis, both militarily and symbolically. Smoke still lingers over the port, and as missiles return to silos and pilots to their carriers, only one question remains. Can a war truly be halted by destroying its fuel, or does that only make it burn fiercer?